So we are Gothic right now, and Gothic. Cemetery, Gothic picnic. The best place I want to be. I can't wait to go here. Everyone's like, oh my god, it sounds horrible, depressing, and mentally ill and suicidal. No, it doesn't. It's part of life. As much as I don't want to acknowledge it, but it's part of life. But it is peaceful, whether you're living or not. It's peaceful. Well, this is a little one, huh? Little tiny cemetery. Huh.
Little, it goes all the way back that way.
Oh. I said it's little. Deal with it.
Maybe compared to some, yeah.
Well, the one in Brooklyn, All Faith Cemetery, that goes away from Queens Boulevard to Fresh Pond Road. That's like from one borough to another.
There are some cemeteries that are like 15 miles in fucking size.
But this is a nice one.
For Saugerties, this is like a large cemetery.
Well, that's a Jewish name. Or German. Schwartzman. And a lot of people are like, oh, how do you know the difference? And you can tell the difference between a German Jew and a regular German non-Jew last name, like mine, which I'm not going to say. But for example, people's last name Webster, like the bank, that is technically German/German Jewish because it's both. Because nature's both. Loving and cruel all at the same time of a balancing nature. The Wells, the Lampskys, the Greens, the Cartwrights, the cartoons, the Carmichaels. Oh, it's a pretty one. But yes, this is beautiful. I love cemeteries. I think they're so romantic and gorgeous. And no one knows the history of cemeteries. But if you go back to the 17th, 16th, and 18th, and even 19th century, people before technology and before TVs and all that stuff, people would actually hang out literally at a cemetery. When you got married to your husband or wife, you would sit down, and that's why you see a lot of old photos from the olden days, right, Daddy? Remember the video we watched on YouTube? You see a lot of people taking pictures in dresses, having picnics in a cemetery next to their loved ones or their family that they got. Here's our new home. We're going to become hillbillies and live in a shack right here. But you would see that, and people would like hang out like this at a cemetery, take photos if you had money for the photos, and you would, oh man, that's horrible. Look at that. Try to pick that up. But like I said, people would take pictures, photos, because there was no phones, TVs.
We used to live down the street. It was an empty lot. This is how we used to get to the cemetery. Yeah, I used to live on that street. Me and my friends like that. We could just walk here, walk through here, come over here. At night like that, we used to play hide and go seek in the cemetery.
Oh, how fun. Well, let me finish the story.
Definitely had a little spookiness to it.
Look, there's a swing set right there. Go play in here. So like I was saying, there's no electric, no TV, no phones. Children used to play in a cemetery, hide and seek, play games, and people would do photos and picnics because you would be with your loved ones, whether they passed away or not. And you would sit with your family, and that was a very normal thing to do in the 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th century. People thought nowadays they want to just take death and like get over real fast, and everything is food. Let's just go out to eat and forget about the person. All right, let's move on, go to work. Bye. A week later, 2 weeks later, people are moving on with their life, which is sick. Then you got people like me who are strange and unusual, quotes of Beetlejuice, and I am definitely strange and unusual because I actually like the cemetery. This is years ago, before I met Daddy, before I lost my mother when she was alive. I've always liked cemeteries because in the Jewish faith, growing up, we have mausoleums/houses, and yeah, we in Louisiana too. There's a mausoleum there. I love mausoleums. I wish my mother was the one I can go inside of it and go sit down next to her and hold her and talk to her and all that jazz. But another thing people did too, which no one does anymore, people would take pictures of the dead deceased bodies when their family member died, which I could have did it, but my mom's husband, Bob, was like harassing me and making fun of me. Look at this. Backyard view. The cemetery. That ain't creepy. No. But yeah, you would take pictures of the dead deceased, and you would actually prop the body up, blah blah blah, and you would.
It was considered to be one last memory
Yeah.
of the individual.
And it
before
makes
they
a
would
lot of
lay the
sense.
rest on it.
Unlike today, you can't do. I guess you can do that. You got cell phones
You
now, but
can, it's just looked at as creepy by
Yeah.
the society.
But it's really not.
It's not illegal.
no. Hey, we found our little shack. Let's live here. Look, there's a magic door. It's nowhere land, Daddy. Where's that door go to? Let's see.
Honestly, it does look like someone tried building a tree fort.
Yeah, look at that.
Honestly, it is kind of like a tree fort. It's made out of old scrap wood, stuff like that.
I think that is. There's a door up there.
Like screen, gold plexiglass, like that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, if I was well, I am a little kid mentally, but physically, unfortunately not. But I would play here.
If I had a property, I would do it.
That's pretty cool. Anyway, so yeah, this is it, and it's beautiful here. So what? The cemetery was all the way down here.
There's some graves back here. It's just like a marker like that.
Well, if you like this kind of content, follow me on TikTok. Check out the community posts on his channel from my YouTube name and my TikTok, which has the same name, a different spectrum, and also
If you want
I took
to,
a screenshot
like,
of it.
Walk over that way. We can walk down that.